If you have $1,000 to spend on a gaming setup, stop right there. Because in 2026, choosing the wrong machine could cost you up to 40% of the performance you paid for. Gaming laptops have become insanely powerful, but there's one massive catch nobody talks about. So today, we're settling this once and for all. Gaming laptop versus gaming PC. Same budget, no fanboy nonsense. 4 brutal rounds. Let's begin. So this comparison doesn't turn into a complete clown fight. We're doing something fair. We're comparing the reality most people actually face when buying in 2026, a $1,000 gaming laptop versus a $1,000 custom-built gaming PC. Same budget, completely different compromises. Let's start with the desktop. With $1,000, you can realistically build 2 excellent gaming PCs. The first option is the older but still insanely good value DDR4 platform. You're looking at something like a Ryzen 5 5600, or if the budget allows, maybe a Ryzen 7 5700 or 5800X, paired with a B550 motherboard, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, a fast 1TB NVMe SSD, and most importantly, an RTX 5060. That's the star of the build. Throw in a solid power supply, a case with decent airflow, and your total lands around $1,000. The second route is going newer with DDR5. Here, you get something like a Ryzen 5 7600 or even the newer 9600X with a B650 motherboard, DDR5 memory, the same RTX 5060, and similar storage. You do sacrifice a bit somewhere, usually RAM, because DDR5 pricing is still painful. And yes, RAM prices are ridiculous right now thanks to AI. First, miners destroyed GPU prices, now AI is inflating everything else. Anyway, on the other side of the ring, we have the gaming laptop. For around $1,000 in 2026, one of the smartest gaming laptop choices is the Acer Nitro V16 AI. And I picked this laptop very carefully. It comes with an AMD Ryzen processor, an RTX 5050 with 8 GB of newer GDDR7 memory, 16 gigs of RAM, a 512 GB SSD, and a 16-inch 1920 by 1200 IPS display running at 180 Hz. On paper, it looks like a monster for the money, but here's why this laptop matters for the comparison. Unlike many gaming laptops in this price range, this one isn't heavily power limited. That's a huge deal, because in laptops, the GPU name alone means absolutely nothing. An RTX 5060 running at low power can actually perform worse than a properly fed RTX 5050. And that's exactly why this Acer is perfect for this fight. Now, let's begin round 1. All right, we start with the heavy punches in round 1, performance. Here, we are going to be extremely direct and aggressive because numbers don't lie when we measure FPS, temperatures, and stability under extreme stress. And here, there is absolutely no discussion possible. The gaming PC wins by humiliation, by a landslide. There is no debate. On the desktop, we have a full-size RTX 5060 pulling all the power it wants straight from the wall through the power supply against a laptop RTX 5050 that, no matter how good the TGP is on our Acer Nitro V16, is still limited by battery standards and the physics of a small chassis. And this is where things get ugly. In some games, the desktop doesn't win by 10%, it wins by 25, 30, sometimes even 40%. That is a massive difference. That's the difference between barely hitting 70 FPS and comfortably pushing 100 plus FPS. That's the difference between medium settings and high or ultra settings. In heavy games, the PC gives you higher FPS, controlled temperatures, and zero thermal throttling. Zero. The experience is beautiful. Meanwhile, the laptop has its fans screaming, making a monumental effort so the keyboard doesn't burn your fingers. And that is exactly the golden rule of hardware. The laptop suffocates, the PC breathes. On the desktop, you have massive front fans pulling in cold air and a huge copper heatsink. In the laptop, you have 2 tiny fans spinning at thousands of RPM, praying that nothing explodes in your face. So in performance, the PC is the absolute king, and there is no debate worth having. Round 2, portability. Here, everything changes. Try taking your gaming PC to college or to work at a coffee shop. You can't. Well, technically you can, but you need a giant bag, a separate monitor, and the patience to set it up and tear it down every single time. Now, the laptop? You put it in a backpack and you're done. Here, the laptop wins by knockout. You close the Acer Nitro V16, put it in your backpack, carry around roughly 4 to 5 pounds on your back, and take it across the city if you want. Your entire study setup, your rendering machine, and your gaming console all under your arm. The mobility of a laptop justifies every damn cent of those $1,000. Round 3, real price. This causes fights on the internet, and I'm going to be brutal because there is a trap that PC Master Race purists always conveniently hide. With a desktop PC, you get undeniably and overwhelmingly better performance for every dollar you invest. Almost all your money, every cent, goes straight into raw hardware power. With a laptop, the dynamic completely changes. You are paying a massive premium for convenience, design, and the extreme miniaturization of very complex components. In simple terms, you are paying for much less graphics and processor performance, just for the privilege of being able to move it from one place to another. Now, with the PC, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Those $1,000 are only for the tower, only the tower. A 144 Hz or higher monitor, another $200 to $500. The mechanical keyboard, the headphones, everything is separate. Everything is required if you want to turn it on and actually use it for the first time. Meanwhile, the laptop already includes a 180 Hz display, a backlit keyboard, a trackpad, although let's be honest, nobody is using the trackpad to game because who the hell games on a trackpad? So yeah, you still need to buy a mouse. Always. But at the end of the day, the laptop is an almost all-in-one package that gets you out of trouble immediately. The PC, on the other hand, is going to make you spend more than the budget you originally had in mind. Round 4, upgradeability. This is one of the most important points, and the one people pay the least attention to before buying. The PC is practically immortal if you maintain it. Let's see, did the GPU fall behind in 2 years? Fine, you just swap the GPU and that's it. Need more RAM? You add 2 more sticks. Want more storage? Another SSD, without touching anything else. The AM4 or AM5 platform can stay with you for years, and every upgrade you make is surgical, without throwing away what already works. The laptop doesn't work like that. You can replace the RAM if it has a free slot. You can add an SSD if it has an extra bay. But the GPU is soldered to the motherboard, the processor too. When in 2 or 3 years, the RTX 5050 starts falling behind in future games, there is no upgrade path. You have to buy an entirely new laptop, meaning another $1,000. So buying a gaming laptop means accepting that in 2 or 3 years, it will be behind. And when that happens, there is no cheap solution, period. Now, before you go buy anything, as I promised at the start of the video, here are 3 mistakes I see all the time that will make you lose money. So this doesn't happen to you, I prepared a mini guide. The first mistake is buying a laptop without checking the TGP. That number, which means total graphics power, is the real wattage available to the GPU. 2 laptops with the same RTX card can perform completely differently if one has 60 watts and the other has 80 watts. At the same price, you can find an RTX 5050 with a butchered TGP that performs worse than a 5050 with better power allocation. Exactly like what happens with the Nitro V and Nitro V16 versions I mentioned earlier. The second mistake is thinking RTX means equal performance. RTX on desktop is not the same as RTX on laptop. The same model number can mean 20, 30, or even 40% less performance on a laptop depending on the TGP. The third mistake is ignoring temperatures. A laptop that constantly overheats not only performs worse, but over time it destroys the lifespan of the machine. Now, yes, we have reached the moment of truth. Here is where I tell you what you should spend those $1,000 on. First, buy the gaming PC if you want the maximum performance for your money, if you have a fixed place to play, if you care about upgrading the system over time without having to buy everything again, and if you don't mind adding the cost of a monitor and peripherals to the budget. Now, buy the laptop if you need to move around, if you study or work outside your home and need one machine that does everything, if you don't have a dedicated space for a desktop PC, or if your total budget, including a monitor, is no longer enough to build a PC with good peripherals. At the end of the day, I'll leave you with this phrase written by Seven. It is not about which machine is objectively better or more powerful. It is only and exclusively about which one actually makes sense for you and your lifestyle. So, if you already decided to go for a laptop, in my video about the 5 best gaming laptops of 2026, I tell you exactly which ones are actually worth it depending on your budget. Smash the like button, subscribe, and comment Bingus if you made it to the end. Oh, and also comment if you are Team Gaming PC or Team Gaming Laptop. I'm Seven, and yep, see ya.